main part of it was that it was sales and marketing. It ended up kind of being a cult. Have you ever seen...
Whoa, all right.
Have you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite movies, yeah.
So we would get sent out to different Home Depots across the country, and we were on a business trip, I want to say in like Portland, and we watched as a team Wolf of Wall Street. I'm like, this is us. We have those morning meetings where we're beating our chest, yelling chants, getting all hyped up.
To sell
cabinet replacing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I was
some boiler room shit right there.
And we were being brainwashed into certain mentalities and to say
I think there's personal, now you got to give them some, they were personal development. How about leadership development? All
they used to tell us an entrepreneur can jump off a cliff, but then build the plane on the way down.
Damn.
For a safe landing.
Fuck, I love that one. That was a beautiful one. I can jump off a cliff and build a plane on the way down.
Yeah, that's an entrepreneur. That's the spirit of an entrepreneur.
It's Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.
All right, we are back. It's Mauricio Mejia live, broadcasting live from Studio B in downtown San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley. And today I get the honors and pleasure to bring on a guest that you would have never imagined that this person's got this hidden talent in her. I want to welcome Aubrey Alcudia. Man, what a tongue twister, though.
It is.
Almost had it. Wow. That sounds like the story of my life. Anyhow, hey, welcome to the show today. I got to say, I'm from talking behind the scenes right now, just blown away. Caretaker during the day and cigar master roller at night. You got some Wonder Woman powers in you.
I know. I just changed in a phone booth.
There you
From day to night, right?
Hey,
depending on.
I want to say thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I was impressed. I was out at an event, and they said there was going to be cigars there. I didn't know there was going to be a live cigar roller, and when I showed up, I saw there was a table set up, and I saw somebody rolling. I just didn't see who it was, and next thing I know, I look and I'm like, wow! I was impressed because it was the first time I've ever seen a woman rolling cigars, and it threw me off, right? So I was like, that's cool. That's something that we need to talk about because I want to know what inspired and got you to do that. And then especially, what you shared behind the scenes was, caretaker. But before we dive into all that, we got to get to know who Aubrey is and get a little background. Born and raised?
Born in San Diego, actually, but I came here when I was 7, and I've been in San Jose pretty much ever since.
Okay.
I did a quick stint in LA for a couple years.
All right.
Did that whole LA life for a little bit, the fast life, the glitz, the glamour.
Yeah.
And then came right back for family.
Were you cigar rolling in LA too?
No, actually, I'm brand new to cigar rolling.
Really?
It's only been a year exactly last month since I've been doing it. I think
you roll like an expert. Right now, we just had you do a little clip for us, and you under pressure, you rolled one under 10 minutes or under 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you did it.
I can knock them out pretty fast. I mean, when I met you, that was probably my 3rd event, but since then I've had a handful.
Wow.
But each event is anywhere from 50 to 100 cigars
so
far. And, I potentially can do more. But when you're under pressure and you have that many to roll, it's muscle memory at this point. So it doesn't take very long, especially if I need them by a crunch. What if it's crunch time and I need them by a particular date? So.
Well, we're gonna on the show. We're gonna the shots that they took of you rolling it. We're gonna showcase those, but. Definitely, there's nothing like seeing you in person and experiencing that, and then being able to smoke a cigar after it's just freshly been rolled.
Yeah, it's quite a showpiece.
I'm going to definitely be spoiled moving forward. So you're invited, by the way. You're going to put it on your calendar, June 12th.
June 12th.
We're going to be hosting my birthday party, and I definitely want to have you there live. For all the guests. So guys, get ready. So let's dive into you. So born in San Diego. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older brother. He's 4 years older, and we're all.
Is he as skilled and talented as you? Or?
You know what? It's funny. It's funny because we weren't.
We're not picking on brothers.
It's funny we weren't that close growing up, but I think as we're getting older, we're starting to realize we're super similar.
What's the age difference?
He's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
So, and we're both Aquariuses.
Okay. We know what your parents were thinking around the same time, huh? I was like, that's
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're starting to find out as adults that we have way more in common. We
That's
have
cool.
very similar traits and attitudes. So
Got it.
we are related.
Okay, you are. You haven't done the DNA test yet, but you're almost certain that you guys are related. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And your parents?
My parents immigrated from the Philippines.
Okay.
Back in, I think my mom in the 80s, my dad
So
in the 70s.
Alcudia is Spanish. We were talking about, we kind of debated, that's the Spanish conquistadores.
Right.
You know, they just conquered, and that's why you got that Spanish in you.
All Filipinos have some Spanish in them.
All right. Hey, you said it, not me. I'll take it, though. I'll take it. Yep.
It's true.
Okay. So, what got you into? I mean, we're gonna get into it. What got you into? I mean, we're gonna skip the education part. We're gonna. What inspired you?
So
I mean, that's an entrepreneurial spirit. That something woke up here.
Right. So I mentioned earlier I had a quick stint in LA. You know, I wanted to do. I don't even know how far to go back. So back in 2000,
when I was a little girl.
I know, when I was grasshopper's knees height.
Yeah.
Back in 2010, 2009, 2010.
When you were like 10 years old or something? Jeez.
I'm a lot older than you might think, but my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, pretty late stage. And I think that's where, not that I got my knack for caregiving, but I figured out how important it is and how not everyone can do it, right? For someone
it takes some patience.
It takes some patience. It takes a lot of strength, I think, to see someone else going through something and you having to be able to stand up and take care of them.
Yeah.
So then there was that. But then because I was doing that, I think I took a break from college. And then
what school were you going to?
I was going to San Francisco State.
Okay.
I took a little break.
What were you studying?
And I was studying marketing at the time, I think.
I'm a business marketing major and radio, television, and film.
Okay, yeah.
I chose San Jose over San Francisco, but San Francisco's too cold for me.
I know. I was like, freezing my butt off the whole time.
A lot of Filipinos out there. But they must, I don't know, just too cold of a weather. San Jose was just calling my name.
Yeah, it was so funny. The first semester, all the SoCal kids that came up their freshman year, they all dropped out because it was too cold.
Yeah,
they all had a seasonal affect.
No, it was like it was a culture shock.
Culture shock.
You got the fog every day. The area that San Francisco State is just cold, and
the campus is kind of far from stuff, so it's not like you just walk to anywhere, and it's too cold to do it. So
there you go. So no, I can see it, but okay. So your business, you're doing marketing, and
dropped out for a little bit.
Good for you.
Helped take care of my mom, but then my mom.
It was for a good cause.
Right, it was for a good cause, good reason. And then my mom always wanted me to go back. And so, immigrant parents, Filipino parents, education is super important.
Yeah.
So I went back, and then I ended up at the Art Institute, closer to home. And I stayed in marketing, but then concentration in fashion this time.
Got you.
And then once I graduated with my BS, I thought the next logical move was to move to LA. And
marketing.
And to pursue fashion.
Okay, that's right, fashion,
yeah.
Okay.
And then in LA, I realized really quickly, no one cares about your little mall retail job. Like that's not going to cut it in Tinseltown, right?
No.
So I found myself doing
you're going through some culture shock very quickly.
Talk about culture shock.
How old are you at the time when you're in LA?
I was 25.
All right. Oh God. All right. And we're not even going to go into your age, but all right, 25.
Yeah, man, I was 25.
You got strong DNA.
Yeah.
You got some strong DNA.
Yeah, we did
good for you.
The
good
Spanish,
for you.
The Spanish and me did good. I did the LA thing, realized I couldn't pursue a career in fashion with zero experience and knowing no people out there. And then I ended up also back in marketing, but we were selling cabinet refacing out of Home Depot through an umbrella company.
Fashion to cabinet refacing.
Cabinet refacing.
Oh, man.
But the main part of it was that it was sales and marketing. And I was like, okay, this is kind of my alley. But then it ended up kind of being a cult. Have you ever seen?
Whoa! All right.
Have you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite movies. Yeah.
So we would get sent out to different Home Depots across the country, and we were on a business trip. I want to say in like Portland. And we watched as a team Wolf of Wall Street. And I'm like, this is us. We have those morning meetings where we're beating our chest, yelling chants, getting all hyped up to sell cabinet refacing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I was
some boiler room shit right there. Oh, my God.
It really was. And we were being brainwashed into certain mentalities and to say
I think there's
phrases.
personal, that you got to give them some, there was personal development. How about leadership development?
No, it was all good.
All right.
Like,
I was about to say, because I it's got to have applied to where you're at. But okay, go for it. Go for it.
So I'm going, this is where I'm going with that. So once we realized,
we're selling cabinets today. I was like, yes. Which color would you like today, ma'am? Oh, no, we're going this way. And
it was really like that. And then, other than cabinet refacing, you can go into other sectors within the company. And then I ended up doing cosmetics.
Granite, counters?
No, outside of Home Depot.
Okay.
So you could have been, I think, 18 or Cable was like one of the, I forgot, Spectrum? I forget the cable companies down there. But
damn.
There was different brands within that company that you can join.
So maybe they were like a training group, a sales training group, but and their contract was with Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So then I ended up moving into, because I hated cabinet refacing. I was terrible at it. So then I moved into cosmetics, but instead of selling out of a store.
Man, you're like, you got me ping-ponging back and forth over here. We went from business to fashion to cabinet.
I hope you can cut it to make it make more sense.
No, don't worry. No, we're good. No, we're not cutting nothing. We're keeping it raw today. We're keeping it raw. So
oh my gosh. So then I was in the cosmetic sector, but instead of selling out of a store, like
you were selling out of a trunk, you're going to tell me right now.
Yes.
Jesus, how did I guess it? Yes.
How did you know? Peddling, soliciting, hitting the streets of LA.
Yes.
So that's how I got really familiar with the city, because every single day we were going to a different city, driving to find like, a dozen blocks in a row of retail businesses that were hopping in and out of each door.
Wow.
But other than the physical work and the actual sales we were doing, it was those morning meetings like in Wolf of Wall Street where they're pumping us with this like brainwashing.
Yeah, they hype you up. Yeah,
they hype you up, but then they really instill that entrepreneurial spirit in you.
It woke you up.
It woke us up, and we were addicted to it. Like, we didn't want to.
It is. So I'm going to tell you, I know there's a couple of groups that I know that do those types of meetings where they're really like music. It's like that Tony Robbins.
Music,
you walk in, it's pumping like because it's called peak state of mind. They got to get you into the peak state in order to perform at the highest peak.
Right.
So, and it's psychological. It works.
It's very effective.
If you practice it on a regular basis, because it can wear off as time goes. So I could see, it's not like you're doing something that's super sexy and super like probably you gotta. And you're gonna get a lot of no's. So imagine you gotta be pumped. Like walked in like no.
Yeah, you gotta let them fly right off of you. Yeah,
exactly. Until you get that yes, and then when you get that yes, you're like,
what? That little high. Yeah, you're like, I gotta find the next one.
Wow. And then it's like that next like, right? Or that, and you get accustomed to certain likes. You're like, how come I didn't get likes on this video?
It's even like a comment. It's those little hits that you get that keep you going. But
the dopamine.
You become a
dopamine fiend.
Addicted. Yeah. And then we also realized, as per they were feeding us, that your attitude determined everything. Ooh. If you were negged out in the beginning of the day because maybe you missed, we called it atmosphere. The morning meeting was called atmosphere with all the music and the chanting.
Atmosphere.
If you missed it,
they even branded it.
Atmo,
Okay.
We had a lot of stuff. We would say juice. Like if you did something really cool, we're like, juice by that. Or we had, if I thought about it, it was just 10 years ago.
Wow.
But if I thought about it, we had a lot of little things that were really... that really stuck with us. But attitude determined your success for the day. Yeah. If you can't, woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you're getting more no's than, if you were to wake up a little more positive. Yeah. And so, 1, we're realizing attitude determines everything. 2, you're manifesting your own destiny day by day, right?
Yes, I love it. All right.
They used to tell us an entrepreneur can jump off a cliff, but then build the plane on the way down.
Damn.
For a safe
Fuck,
landing,
I love
right?
that one. That was a beautiful one. I could jump off a cliff and build a plane on the way down.
Yeah, that's an entrepreneur. That's the spirit of an entrepreneur.
Wow.
And then little things like...
I've been an entrepreneur since I was 15. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that. I've heard of jumping off the cliff.
We have tons of those. We had tons of those.
We're gonna have to start a business here.
Yeah,
I like. You got all those phrases. Is there a book on this
And
stuff?
there's tons of books that we were reading that we were just circling around the office, and we were all
Wow.
getting the phrases and mentality.
I'm gonna have to give you
from the
copies
same
of my
stuff.
book now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yes,
I'd love to read it.
absolutely, yes.
And then they also told us if all of our inventory burned down overnight, we can go buy toilet paper at the Dollar Tree, flip it, sell it for whatever, and still make the same amount of money that day.
Wow.
So we were instilled a lot of those.
You got me all
mentality.
fired up
Yeah.
right now. I'm like, damn.
I'm kinda getting fired up. I forgot about all this.
Well, it's muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's happening is we're
Tapping back in.
You're
Tapping back in.
I'm tapping in with you. I'm in.
It's,
All right.
It's contagious.
It is contagious. It is. Absolutely. Making money is contagious.
It really is. It's addicting but contagious. But then, yeah, like I said, it's mentality. It's positive. It's it's for a good cause, and it's inspiring. So that's what I was doing in LA.
Yeah.
That's what instilled the entrepreneurial spirit.
LA's a beast world. I come from
really
LA.
is.
I grew up in LA, so that's I know where that's at. You're in the concrete jungles out there. So.
Yeah, exactly. So then I came home. But I always had that.
No more colds.
No more right.
No more tapping in.
Right. So I still had that in me where I couldn't sit still. I had to do something.
Yeah, you were programmed already.
I was programmed, and I didn't want to let it go because I was like, I can use this. I don't have to be in an organization. I could implement this to my own life.
Yeah.
Using the skills that I picked up in my quick little stint in LA. And it's funny because all the friends I made forever friendships during that because we realized no one else went through this crazy psychotic thing that we all went through except for who actually did. Yeah. And so we have such a kindred connection.
Okay.
And it's so fun. Still, we all have that mentality, the friends that I've still kept to this day. And we're all doing crazy entrepreneurial things you would never guess.
All right.
And just successful.
So the network is still alive. You okay? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so there's that. So I come home, had to transition back home because I was out doing my own thing, but then I had to come back home to mom. And then she's treating me like...
LA to the Bay.
Yeah. Well, also being on your own, living on your own as an adult to coming back home where my mom thinks you're a baby, you don't know what you're doing, you had to come home.
You're her little girl.
Right.
You're her little girl.
So I'm like, I have to prove myself to show that I did grow up. I do know what I'm doing. I do know what path I want to be on. I mean, not specifically, but... I have direction. Yeah. So it took a long time to adjust back to that. But then my grandmother, she was living in the Philippines, but we moved her back home with us. And she ended up breaking both of her hips.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And so she couldn't walk at all. And then I took on caregiving for her.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and then on top of that, she had dementia. So she required a lot of care. And it was between me and my mom. But then that's where I registered through the county and became her official caregiver. And I did that for 6 years. So starting my own business or doing my own thing was kind of on the back burner. But I had to...
There's a lot of money in caregiving.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of money and you get great benefits. But I would say I wouldn't put caregiving, especially if it's a really complicated situation, I wouldn't put that on my worst enemy because it takes... a certain part of your heart that you only develop doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. So
that's deep.
Then in the very beginning, I wasn't making that much. Mm-hmm. And then as time went on, I did get a little more from the county. But in the beginning, I needed to supplement my income. So then I did start a little side business.
All right. What's the first business? I want to know.
Was microblading eyebrows.
Okay.
So I was tattooing eyebrows on the side here and there. And it kept my entrepreneurial spirit alive. And it was my artistic expression.
Okay.
As I mentioned with Vex, once you're an artist in one thing, you're an artist in everything. Ooh. So that was my artistic
Hey, Vex, you heard that, bro? She gave you some nuggets over here, bro.
Shout out. And that was kind of like my escape because caregiving was such a challenging job.
Wow.
That was my little escape. That was my little artistic expression, but then also kept my toes dipped into the entrepreneurial pool where I knew it was my 5-year plan whatever happened to my grandmother after 5 years, I can either jump into a new thing, because then my plan was that I needed to hop in on a trend that was.
You need to tap in.
I need to tap into a trend.
It's like, you got me hooked on that one. Tap in.
Tap in.
Hey, I'm tapping in. Girl, hey, what's up? I'm going to text you. Tap in. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be on top of the trends, tapped in to the pulse, right? So I knew that it was just a trend and it was going to die out eventually. And then I also learned about myself that I didn't love being in the beauty industry because, I mean, as a consumer, as someone who's, participates in the beauty industry as a consumer, I don't like being the one who preys on insecurities of other women to make a dollar, right?
Damn.
Yeah, and I learned that also about cosmetics back in LA.
There's some psychology behind it. Your cult taught you well.
Right,
All right.
Yeah, so
you're going to make her feel so beautiful, even though she's not. You're going to give her all of this makeup.
Yeah, but then it's all about marketing, right? It's about how you market your service, your product, but most of all, it's how you market yourself.
All right.
So after 5 years, I said, okay, I'm going to hop into something else where I'm marketing still myself and whatever service I get into, but then less preying on insecurity and something a little more celebratory and positive, right? Which eyebrows for me was a really positive experience, but I knew it wasn't my forever. Right. So then
it's a lot of eyebrows you got to tattoo to make money. So.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good money it served its purpose for the time that it did. So then my grandma passed end of 2000, or no, my birthday, February 2023. So then I took that year to grieve. I took that year to transition into a life of not taking care of someone day to day, right? Okay. And then I was like, okay, let's get the wheels turning. Let's figure out the next business venture. And then one day I'm sitting at home scrolling, as we all do. Yeah. And Draymond Green had just got married. Okay. And a video from his wedding went viral. He had an open bar, but for weed. Okay. And so there were girls sitting there. I don't know.
Rolling joints.
Rolling blunts, actually. Okay. Just, handing them off to all the guests. And you see all the guests having so much fun on the dance floor.
Draymond Green, by the way, is with the Warriors guys. Just want to just let you know.
In case no one knew who that is.
It's medicinal use. It was medicinal use. So,
it's, all in good fun. It's legal now.
Yeah, it's... All right. So you're seeing this.
So I saw that and I said, that's super dope.
Okay.
I need to get in on this. I don't even smoke weed.
Good for you.
Yeah, but then that's when my little entrepreneurial...
Cigars are amazing.
So, exactly. Yes. So then I don't even know how I decided cigars was the next best thing, if not better. Okay. Because I don't know how I knew that cigars were hand-rolled the way that they are. I think it came to me in a dream, but I said, cigars, that's it. I'm just going to do cigars. Because they're way more universal. Mm-hmm. They're legal everywhere. Yeah. And it's like when you think of a celebration.
Are you considered a reseller of cigars? Because really you're rolling a raw material.
Yeah. So I actually am a contracted worker because I'm selling my service as the roller. Okay. So I'm not actually selling the cigar itself.
I love the loophole. Yes.
Right. Exactly. Yes, so I'm like a bartender without a liquor license because the client is purchasing the alcohol directly. And then I'm serving it, right?
So we're the enablers. We're the enablers, huh? And you're just the service provider.
I'm the middleman. You're the for the fun, right?
Wow, wow, the middleman for the fun. Man, I'm coming out with some nuggets out of this one. Mauricio Mejia, the middleman for the fun.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
I love it. I'm taking
the
some
spark plug.
There you go.
That's where
the name comes from. All right, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what I thought, like, this is exactly what I want to do, because when you think of celebrations, milestones, birthdays, when a baby is born, wedding, you want to spark up a cigar.
All right.
To stamp that moment in time.
Woo. Damn. Got to give props to your training. I'm like, you're flowing. Yeah. I love it. No, that's so you've only been doing this for a short period of time, but you sound like you're an expert in the field. Obviously, you've really owned it. And you're obviously, so how many events are you doing per month probably?
So I want to start out slow, because one thing I did learn about brows, I wanted to go in hard, fast, quick, make as much money as fast as possible.
Did you mess up on some eyebrows? Be honest.
Debatable.
Hey,
I would say.
Allegedly.
I would say
One
though,
with a little twerk.
I know. I would say that if a lady's coming to me who needs help with her eyebrows, whatever I'm giving her, she's leaving with something better than what she came with, right?
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. I'm sold right now. All right.
You know? So what I learned though from that approach in that business was that I burnt out constantly.
Okay.
Because I was working way too hard, I wasn't vetting my clients. I was taking anyone and everyone off the street. I wasn't.
What does that cost by any chance?
Anywhere from, now the market is oversaturated. You can learn on the internet. I went to so many in-person trainings. I traveled to Vegas, to everywhere in California.
Okay.
For my training. I didn't even have an Instagram at the time. Now, if I got into the same business, I can learn in a day how to do it off of Instagram Reels, right? So the market is oversaturated.
To do it yourself or to do it on people?
On people.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, both. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you, right? Yeah. But then what was I saying? I burnt out really quickly.
Yeah.
So then I learned that I need to organize my time. I need to...
Time management.
Exactly. Time management, but also be more familiar with my worth and not spread myself too thin, right?
Okay.
And especially at the time I was caregiving, so it's not like I had the biggest capacity in the world and all the time to give. Now I have so much more time, so I can take my time and kind of do what feels right and pay attention to my intuition and to my body and, you know, my health. And just go with the flow without forcing anything that would burn me out eventually or make me hate it.
Gotcha.
Because I overdid it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do to decompress?
I like to, I have a dog.
Okay.
So hanging
kind
out
of
with my
dog?
dog, she's a Labradoodle.
Okay, those are cute. I like that. Yeah.
So one thing about owning a dog,
They got a personality.
they have a personality, but also she's
like human.
smarter than me. It kind of freaks me out.
Okay.
She's like understands fluent English.
Okay.
Like you don't even have to tell her anything twice. It's
Like if she wants to talk, she could talk to you. Yeah.
I honestly, it's like nonverbal language. She's talking, but just like with her eyes, with her
Yeah, no, that's not
behavior.
that. Those dogs have personality. When they
There's-
look
yeah.
at you, you're like, it's almost like they're human. I'm like, whoa, dude, like
very
what?
expressive, very expressive.
Yes.
I'll have to show you a picture of my dog. She's very
Nice.
humanized.
All right.
But that's one thing about owning a dog too. She taught me how to slow down and just be in the moment and be very present.
Oh man, amen. Gotcha.
So then that's how I stop from overworking. But it's not even overworking. It's just overdoing anything. I can get a social calendar that's dense of different like brunch here, birthday here, whatever it may be. But then now that I have an excuse of, well, you know, I have a dog, I have to get home early to feed her, or I have to get home to walk her, or
It's like a child.
It's like a kid,
Yeah,
But
okay.
then a little bit more mobility because
Yeah.
she can be home on her own if she
Yeah,
needs
yeah,
to be,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then, like we said, presence is really important, and that's how you're able to pay attention to your body and know what you need to be able to sustain over a long period of time. Yeah.
All right. So okay, so you're on this tattooing, eyebrows. How do you pivot?
This is how it happened.
There we go.
So
Now we're gonna get into it. Now we're gonna get into it. All right, go for it.
I'm like talking about so many different
Yeah,
things.
no, I love it.
Lost track.
I love it. I love it.
One of my best friends that I went to high school with, she lives in SoCal, not LA, IE.
Okay.
And she has 2 daughters that are in private school.
Okay.
And, I've been talking about the cigar thing. I didn't just jump in right away. I was
Yeah,
just
because
toying
you
with
talked
the
about it.
idea.
You saw it. You fell in love with the idea. And you're like,
but
okay.
then I didn't get started right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Do I need a tobacco license? Do I need to go to Cuba? I don't understand what I need to do. I don't know.
Right.
I can't go on TikTok and say tutorial on whatever.
Yeah.
Like for eyebrows, sure. There's a game plan. It's mapped out.
Are there tutorials now are there on YouTube by any chance?
For eyebrows or cigars?
Cigars.
There are,
Okay.
but all men.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I see opportunity right now. We're going to have to
matters,
do a
but-
show here. We're going to have to produce a reel or something here where you're rolling cigars.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Silicon Valley, San Jose.
I'll do a little tutorial.
Yeah, we should
into
do
it.
Let's done deal.
I'll do
We're gonna-
classes, workshops. I'll have people come.
There you go.
Yeah, it could be a little mixer.
Yeah, there you go.
Whiskey.
I mean, we don't need that many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Done. Are we in? Are we partners?
Vex is in.
We're
Partners.
All right. You guys got to hear. We're lit. See, we bring deals. We make real deals happen.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
All right, let's go. All right, done. No, you don't got to tell me twice.
Right.
We got plenty of whiskey, and you bring the cigars.
Yeah.
We're good. All right.
We're in.
We'll smoke them out. We just got to smoke them outside.
Now,
though.
and that's one thing that I'm finding out too is that a lot of places are smoke free.
Yeah.
No smoking. So you have to find a lot of ways
we
around
break
that.
the rules.
Yeah.
We break the rules.
That's what entrepreneurs do, right?
That's
We make
right.
our own rules.
That's right. Amen. Wow, where you been? I need to tap in.
Hey,
I'm tapping in. I'm
we're
tapping
still
in. I'm tapping in. All right, go for it.
So then, just toying with the idea. I want to say I toyed with the idea for almost a year.
Okay.
And because I didn't really have, I didn't need the money that I was like, I have to do this now or I can't eat, where I felt that with Browse. And one of my best friends who lives in the IE, she has daughters that go to a private school.
IE is the Inland Empire, just in case. I got to translate for some people. I know.
That don't know.
If you don't know, you don't know. We know what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
The IE.
I knew you knew. I'm like, everyone else can Google it at home.
Right. Okay.
And so she said, hey, I know you've been toying with the cigar idea. We're having our annual fundraiser gala for my daughter's school. It's Havana Nights themed. Mm-hmm. She's like, you should come roll cigars. I'm like, I haven't rolled a single cigar in my entire life. When is it?
Yeah.
2 weeks. 2
All
weeks.
right.
I'm like, let's go. I hopped on
Tap
YouTube.
in. Uh-huh.
I tapped in. I hopped on YouTube. I ordered leaves off of like a wholesale tobacco sale site.
Okay.
Learned in 3 days flat.
What?
I had to have, I think, 90 cigars rolled for that event. I was busting them down, like making a mess. You saw it was a little,
No,
crumbly here.
You got to dial in.
Imagine that. It was like my dog was swimming in tobacco leaves at the house. Yeah,
wow.
because I was just like knocking them out, but also teaching myself at the same time, self-teaching myself based off of videos. Because learning off of a screen is way different than learning with someone teaching you and doing it in person.
Right.
I went, and also I went having zero knowledge of cigars either. Never smoked a cigar previously prior to that event.
Do you smoke cigars?
So now I started we'll get into it, but my trainer, this beautiful girl from Cuba, was like, you have to start smoking cigars now. And I was honestly, I never planned to, but she was like, no, you have to. And I was like, okay, whatever you say, because you're the
you can't be a roller and not smoke them.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like, that's how you know.
You're like, you can't. Well, then you're like, but you can't get high off your own supply.
Right.
You know, like, come on now, come on.
A little bit of a different concept,
All
but
right.
she's like, that's how you're going to understand the structure. That's how you're going to understand the blends, the body, the everything. So I was like, okay, you make a good point. So I started smoking them since.
She closed you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then, back in my 20s when I was living in LA, clubbing every night, I used to smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
And the most social you're at the nightclub is when you're in the smoking section, meeting new people, sharing lighters.
Yeah.
And that's what I found out smoking cigars is like, I got that back.
Whole different game.
Yeah, a whole different game,
yeah.
but then the sociability aspect of
That's
it,
right.
right? It brings
That's
people
right.
together.
That's right.
You're outside of the party, kind of gathering for that common, commonality.
Yeah,
So
that fix.
the fix,
Yeah.
and just like the social aspect, it's really like heartwarming for one thing to bring people together.
Yeah.
It's like a conversational piece. So then I do the gala.
All right.
And I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it under pressure. It was like riding a bike. I perform well under pressure,
All right.
as per always.
Yeah.
But then also, everyone didn't care what was in the cigar.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, this is incredible. Like, you're a girl rolling a cigar live at an event.
Yeah.
one
Everything that
cared
you
what
just
it
said,
was.
everything that they thought, I thought and said to myself.
exactly.
I was like, what?
But, yeah,
What?
yeah,
What? And
yeah.
what? And no, I need to get you on my show now. So yeah, no, great.
So exactly what you thought,
Yeah.
that's what the majority of people are thinking. You get maybe less than a handful of
Any haters?
not
Any women look at you like, what? Like,
I mean, I get that anyway, so I don't know any differently.
you gotta love them
We've
haters.
been ignoring that from a long time ago.
Gotta love
but
it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, so then I realized too, people are really enamored by just what it is as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not getting the cigar aficionados coming at you and critiquing how you roll or what your blend is or
Right.
whatever. Everyone's just like so happy that this is something new.
It's
that they're
fresh.
Yeah,
because everything we see is packaged already.
Mm-hmm.
So to see it, I'm going to tell you my first experience when I experienced rolled cigars. The
Mm-hmm.
first time I saw it, I went to the Playboy Mansion for their pajama party, Halloween pajama
fun.
party.
Yeah.
The first year that I went to it, it was amazing. They actually had the UFC. They had a UFC fight there.
Oh, wow.
And it was just crazy. It was a bunch of stuff that happened. It was my first time to the Playboy Mansion, and they had a guy rolling cigars. The guy was from Cuba.
Oh, see?
So they can say they were Cuban rolled.
Yeah.
And they were using leaves from Nicaragua. And I remember it, and he was rolling like just nonstop. I mean, they were just
Yeah.
stacked, and he's like, "Yeah, just grab how many ever you want." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I grabbed the Ziploc
He's
bag.
like, "Yeah, I'll make more."
I just stuffed it.
Yeah. Open bar,
but
open cigar bar.
Open cigar bar, exactly. So that was my first experience of seeing fresh hand rolled, and I mean, I remember I smoked like 4 of them that evening.
Yeah, you're like, these are
like,
dope. What an experience.
I was smoked out, but yeah, no,
What
that
a
was
treat.
yeah, interesting experience. But so your first time at this, you don't know
I
what the
fell
hell
in
you're
love
doing.
with it. I fell in love with the attention, the thrill,
Yeah.
just like how much it made people so happy. And because I was so new at it, it was so it felt great for other people to say, I've never smoked a cigar before, but because you're here as the cigar expert, I'd love to try for
you're
my
the
first
expert.
time. Yeah.
You're like smiling.
I'm
You're
like,
yeah.
sure,
Here,
if that's
try.
what you think,
This is one of my special ones here. You're gonna try this one. If you don't like this one, you can try
Yeah.
this one. This one I rolled a couple days ago.
Right.
It's packaged.
Different humidity levels, different blends, Nicaragua versus Ecuador. Like, they don't know.
Were you really saying all that? Oh my god!
I honestly, with everything.
You're badass. I
with
swear to God,
everything,
you're-
I kind of bullshit,
All
right?
right, no,
That's-
sales right
That's
there.
sales right
Yeah.
there. But you make it sound good. You make
Yeah.
it believable. You make people feel good. And that's what they're buying into. They're buying into your personality. They're buying into you as the show.
Right.
I could, like I said, I could be selling toilet paper and people are like, wow, show me
Damn.
more. You know,
Yeah.
2-ply, 1-ply. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
So then I fell in love with that because then it's
We're
like,
gonna start. We're gonna do class. I'm telling. We
Yeah.
already made a deal. So I know this.
I
is
know.
gonna,
I'm going to have to look at the contract first and the fine print.
we're
but-
good. We're good. We're partners now. So we're partners. All
Oh,
right.
no. Gentleman's handshake. It's
Hey,
locked in.
Solid. So I'll let you make the rules.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Then
yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah. No, I just want to be a part of the team. So we're good.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I'm
So,
excited for that. Yeah, I fell in love with it, and I said, okay, this is it. That was the deciding factor. Because I was toying with the idea for so long, but I never dove in because I wasn't sure.
Well,
you know?
you jumped off the cliff.
And I jumped off a cliff,
Yeah.
built the plane.
Yeah. Built the plane. It worked, and it flew. And it flew.
And then I took a pause. I did take a step back. I made the decision, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But I took a step back because I was only self-taught off YouTube. And I knew I could be better. I knew I can be a little more official with it. So then I did a little bit of research and I found a cigar factory in Austin, Texas, where I was trained for a week by this beautiful Cuban lady.
Wow.
And then from that point on, I was legit. So that's when I really started, looking for bookings and kind of getting more exposure. Still slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I think when I met you, that was like my 3rd event ever. And now that was a month ago. I've done 3 more since, and I have 3 more in the pipeline.
Wow.
So I'm getting consistent, and I've already double booked myself, and I'm in talks with another girl for me to train her so she can be my employee.
Damn.
Even though I'm not like overly inundated with event after event, I want to have that prepared just
Yeah.
because, weekends, it's not like every Tuesday someone for happy hour needs a cigar roller. It's like weddings are on weekends. I'm only one person.
Yeah.
I can only be in so
Yeah.
many places at once. So I'm already looking forward and seeing how to expand and preparing for that mentally.
All right.
Yeah.
I definitely see there's a scalable business, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's scalable to a certain point. I think what happens though, because it's so unique, your price point goes high, right?
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Well, you can get that roller if you want, but you
Yeah.
don't got me.
Right.
And I'm different. You make yourself so unique that your demand and your value goes so much higher. So what does something like that go for? I mean, how do you price Is it just a per event, per head?
So there's tiers.
Yeah.
There's a base price.
All right.
And it also depends on, how many
and cigars
attendees.
is not a cheap thing.
It's not.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
it's not a cheap thing as it is material-wise.
Yeah.
But then you also have to consider the preparation before you even roll the cigar.
Got it.
And the time it takes for me to get to the event, my knowledge of cigars.
Here we go.
My
The sale.
expertise.
You're not closing me. I got you.
So all of it is included
Yeah.
or added on top of the base.
Yeah.
And then, travel fees,
Yeah,
and
of
then
course.
the amount of cigars I'm going to roll on the spot, how many I come
And
pre-rolled
if I go over, there's a fee to the fee.
Right,
Hey,
exactly. It's a breathing fee. There's
No. That's good.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
yeah.
you got it all dialed in. How do you feel that your experience after let's call it officially got certified, or
Mm-hmm.
you got this training?
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference from when you first started? Were you doing it right, or were you?
No, not even close.
Oh wow! So people were smoking things they
I
didn't
was
even.
honestly like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed about all the cigars that
Oh
I
my
gave out
God.
that first event because they
Jesus.
were nothing like what I really learned how to roll.
Right.
But I was very honest. I was like, yeah, I said it was my third day ever. And people were like, what? You look like an expert. I'm like, yeah, looks are deceiving. I'm glad you've never smoked a cigar because you're going to smoke this one. And you're not going to understand how a real cigar should be. But then I came back. This is funny, Marcio. I went back to the same event. And people were like, night and day. I'm like, yeah, I'm way more legit now.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is too much. Oh, all right. I'm glad I wasn't at the first event. I was at the third event, but
Yeah.
the third event, I mean, like I went to that cigar. It was moist. It was good.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is a good cigar.
I knew what I was doing then.
I was like,
Not a year ago.
can I have another one, please? Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's so you're doing these events. You're looking at expanding now. Is this a form of steady income for you, or is it still more of a hobby kind of
Still
side?
more of a hobby because I'm slow to start.
Okay.
I do have a number in mind that I'm going to eventually reach.
Okay.
But for right now, I still caregive. I still work at a restaurant here and there.
All right. What do you do at a restaurant?
I serve.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
waitress.
Come on now.
That's kind of a funny story too.
What? Yeah.
Everything has a cute, funny story.
All right.
But it's a restaurant that I worked at 11 years ago.
High end, low. What kind of restaurant?
Mid-tier.
Chain restaurant.
Like elevated bar.
All right.
Elevated bar restaurant.
What city?
Sports
Come
bar.
on, give me.
Sunnyvale.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I worked there 11 years ago, getting through
right.
college.
Okay.
And
So you owe somebody a favor. Somebody's got something on you.
so one of my girls that was bartending at the time, she's now the GM.
Okay.
And I was doing her eyebrows.
All right.
And she one day was like, do you need a job? I'm like, I can't serve again. That was so yesteryear. That was
Yeah.
and she's like, it's the same. Like, you don't have to relearn it.
Right.
And I was like, only if you can promise me. And then I gave her a random number.
Yeah.
And I was like, on average a night. She's like, that's what they're making now. I was like, what? That's a huge difference in what we were doing back in the day. And she's like, yeah, just do it for the holidays. We're busy during the holidays.
Okay.
And I'm still doing it because after the holidays ended, I needed to save up for cigar school that I went to pay that back, that whole trip back. Because it was in Austin, and Austin's not a cheap city, I found out.
Austin's bougie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I
Yeah.
thought Texas, country,
Yeah.
South, everything's
No.
going to be cheap. No, it was like more expensive than here. And I was
Oh,
like, okay,
wow. Yeah, they're
this
trying
is
to be like us
unexpected.
down there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I heard. It was like the Silicon Valley of the South. I'm like, no
Yeah.
one told me.
No, they want to be.
Yeah. They're trying. But then now I enjoy it because caregiving, it's only me and the person that I'm caring for. Here, I'm able to fine tune and keep sharp on my sociability.
Okay.
So,
social skills. Yeah.
and your social skills,
yeah.
and then being in contact with different people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was kind of stunted.
I'm gonna give you that. You might already have figured it out.
Yeah.
But the relationships
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting to next.
that you're gonna build off of this.
Yes. Oh yeah, I will shamelessly plug myself any and everywhere. And the more people
Damn.
I'm in front of, that's the more potential for the yeses. Like we were saying, no's and yeses.
Yes.
If I put myself in front of more people, the more no's, but then the more yeses, right?
Yeah.
It's about exposure and networking, building relationships.
There was did you watch the movie Bloom? Bloom was the card. She was a card.
Oh, she was like a dealer?
Yeah, she was the dealer, and then she had all the big high tech. You got to watch that movie. I'll text it to you
Yeah, it
when
sounds good.
it's and she speaks now, but she was a Olympic skier that got injured, broke her back, and then
interesting.
her comeback. She fell in love with dealing
Yeah,
cards.
dealing. I love a comeback story.
And she became such a badass that she got busted for running a card house, a card room, and they did a whole movie on it. And
that's based, this is a true story.
True story.
Very
True story.
cool.
Yeah, no, she speaks now.
Yeah.
I got to meet her in person and got to hear her story. But you just totally reminded me of like, damn, you just got that grit in you.
Yeah, there's opportunity everywhere.
Yeah. And if you don't see it, you're not trying hard enough.
Exactly. You're not trying hard enough, or you don't want it bad enough, right?
Ooh.
So that's I view everything as a stepping stone or a bridge to a gap,
Okay.
right? So that's where I'm at now.
You married? You have a boyfriend? What's
No.
going on here? All right, I'm just asking for the world. If the world is asking, I'm like, wow. All right. But I would never imagine it, especially with the amount of time you don't have. So
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
You and your dog, it's cool.
my dog.
Yeah, you don't need that validation. You got the dog. She loves you no matter what.
I know, unconditionally.
Unconditional. She gives you the eyes and all that good stuff. All right, okay.
Doesn't complain.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So what's next?
I think reinvesting all this serving money back into the business so I can get it going the way that I want it to.
What does that look like?
Marketing, exposure. Also, I want to get into the luxury wedding space.
Okay.
So
I have a friend that is in the
Planning?
wedding. Yeah, she was actually at that event.
Oh, was
she? Chrissy, I don't know if you got
Okay. No, I didn't get to socialize that event. I was
Yeah,
busy
I don't know if she
rolling my butt off.
maybe came. I'll make sure I make the connection.
Yeah,
okay,
I
yeah.
love that.
She
I'd
does a lot
appreciate
of wedding planning
Yeah.
and high-end stuff too.
Oh,
so,
perfect. Yeah. Because that was one of my assignments once I came out of my cigar school was the owner of the factory said, you need to really make relationships with all the wedding planners in your area because that's going to be your bread and butter. That's who's going to put you on, basically. And I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, that's also the next step. And then also attending wedding fairs and getting names.
Nah,
and
you got to
making
work smarter,
contact.
not harder. There's there's
Working smarter, not harder. Yeah.
No, come on now. That's old school
The
ways. We
wedding
gotta-
fairs, I did see somewhere recently that they're kind of getting outdated.
Yeah.
Because brides aren't going to them anymore. They're just looking online. And like different
yeah.
directories.
We're gonna do a
and stuff.
tutorial here. That's how they're gonna find you.
Yeah,
We're gonna
right?
do the
From
tutorial.
this.
Yes. So think about it. Visualize it. I want you to think about how this looks like. I know that we have on one of our sets here, we have like a counter table where like they do the cooking stuff. We can probably use that, put your board on top, and then have I want you to visualize it, and then we'll talk with the team. And I think that if we create
visualized it a long time ago.
if we create this tutorial, right?
Yeah.
Almost like a podcast, a channel for you. I think that we can create something there, All right. I mean, do you think that this could take over? Would you still do all the other parts, or do you see this becoming something that you can manage and grow? Because imagine you just have it's woman owned and women operated.
Exactly. That's what I want to work towards. And I definitely see the potential for this to be my one and only thing
Okay.
in the future.
Hey, I'll put money behind this.
Yeah.
I'm down.
All right. Well,
I'm done.
I'm
Yeah.
taking your word for that.
No,
I'm locking you in for that.
It's recorded. It's already here. It's done. We already got
That's
one.
right. I forgot they were here.
We got one. We got already one deal. We got a second deal now. No,
Okay.
I think that if anything, where I could support you is on the staffing part of it, or giving you the backup for staffing. Like if you want to teach this person, I could carry that cost because they obviously got to get paid, right? And then as events start coming, then you can pay it back. Kind of thing. We'll break it down,
Yeah.
but I'm like, oh shit, this is
You're
easy.
getting inspired.
Yeah, I am inspired. Well, I'll be honest. I've always loved quality.
Same.
Good alcohol. Even though I'm not drinking right now, good alcohol, good whiskeys, good tequilas, and good cigars.
Yeah.
And good cigars don't have to be the most expensive. They just have to be made the right way, or
with a little love.
There you go. There you go. Love goes. You're a closer. I swear to God, I got to be careful with you, man. No, you are serious. I'm like I said, I'm very happy that you made the time. We made the time to make this thing happen, because I think that there's a lot of potentials. We're in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of potentials for this.
It's endless.
Yeah, it's endless. It's endless.
No ceiling. Yeah.
There you go. We're gonna have to think of other business opportunities too.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that. I think they did an amazing job in programming you.
They really did. They really did. Shout out to all my Smart Circle friends out there.
There you go. Is that what it's called?
It was called Smart Circle.
Smart Circle. Mm-hmm. Is that a company? Are they still doing?
I don't think it exists anymore.
Oh,
they must be. I don't know if it's underground now or what, but I don't know that it still
Smart
exists.
Circle. Even that makes. I mean, they're damn. Shout out. Oh man, I love it. Yeah. I love it. Well, we can go on and on and on and on and on. Talk about. Words of inspiration. I mean, you're a woman, smart. You got entrepreneurial spirit. You're boss lady. For other women that are out there, and you haven't had it easy. You've had your, you jumped and you figured out how to build a plane on the way down. Mm-hmm. What are some words of inspiration for the women and people that are out there that are watching?
For women, I would say what I learned, and I know I touched on it already earlier. You have to really pay attention to your body, right? Your body, your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul.
Deep.
Because there's a lot of pressure on us. I know it's talked about a lot, and we can say that. But until you step outside of yourself and understand you're not the pressure, you're performing probably based on what societal standards have set. Right. You're based on the pressure that other people are putting on you, or even what you put on yourself. Yeah. But if you step outside of yourself and you listen to your intuition, you'll find out that you want to operate completely differently than what you've been doing this whole time. Yeah. And once you flip that switch, you start attracting everything and being in more alignment.
Yes.
Right? And things start making more sense. Yes. And there's no more resistance.
Right.
Everything becomes a little bit, yeah. Excuses. It could be so many things.
Yeah.
And everything becomes a little bit easier. You realize all your challenges were in your head, but weren't as hard as you thought they were initially. So
yeah, a lot of it's fucking created in our head. Exactly. It's an illusion.
Yeah. It's an illusion.
It's an illusion. We create the story and the movie. And we start playing that shit in our head,
and you get stuck in a loop.
That's right.
You get stuck in a loop. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be able to step outside of yourself and put a pause in that loop, or just turn it off completely.
Quiet that noise. Kill that noise.
Take a whole different path if you need to.
I put that to the test in the past. You can't operate today on an old operating system. It's like your phone, right? You got to update it.
You have to update it. You have to evolve.
You got to evolve. You got to update yourself. You got to refresh yourself. Because what worked then might not work today, and for sure is not as efficient as it. Your today's efficiency is much different than the past efficiency. You can still use some of the old school ways just to kind of navigate in case things aren't always working out as what you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I've implemented that, and just even recently again. I've been blessed. There's a lot of things that I'm working on right now, and I've been manifesting. A lot of things that I've been manifesting are happening because I've also started to have clarity in my mind and just staying focused, patient, and and consistent.
Right.
Consistency. I always tell people consistency always wins. Peaks and valleys, yes, but if you stay consistent, you got to keep going. You got to keep going.
Yeah, so. And that's one of the biggest lessons too that I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey is that you could feel like you're failing, but if you just keep going, sometimes that failure just goes away.
That's right.
And then you're like, I'm way more successful than I thought. It was just in my head, like we said.
Yeah.
And because I kept going and I kept that consistency, you find out it was just that little peak or that little obstacle that was temporary.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Damn, you just came in with some gems today. I thought we were just
coming in with gems. Yeah, I'm just going off of you, Mauricio.
Hey, we tapped in.
Yeah, we tapped in. That's what it was.
That's gonna be our key. Our little. Our. It's between us. So we tapping in. I got to say, I'm really blown away. Thank you. I wasn't
you.
expecting what I got today out of this.
I wasn't expecting it either. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
what was going to come out of me. But
you fired me up,
Yeah.
and I love it. I think the commonality here is the cigars. So we're gonna have to smoke a
It brings
cigar
them
together.
together. Yeah, for sure.
We'll have to make that happen. And
on your birthday, June 12th.
that's right, June 11th, but June 12th we're celebrating. I'm a Gemini,
Okay.
so. Definitely, and that place. And last year I had over 300 people that showed up.
Oh, wow. I got to start rolling now.
all great guests. No, not all of them are smokers. But this year it's at a new location, and I definitely want to keep it more exclusive. So it'll be a fun event, and definitely looking forward to having you there.
Yeah, I'm
and
excited.
I want to definitely start mapping out what it would look like to do a show, a tutorial. And then put that out, because I think that can also create some. It can create some buzz,
For sure.
And then hey, you never know. I might have to travel with you, on these.
I'm into it.
Let's make it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. All right. Last words. What would you want to say? I mean, you hit it on for women, but some 3 words. I don't know. Words of inspiration.
Words of inspiration. What didn't we already cover? I say, don't listen to anybody.
All right.
And especially not the negative voice in your head. That's it right there.
There you go. Mic drop, guys. All right. We're wrapping it up. I want to say thank you again for being here. People want to reach out and get a hold of you. How can they reach out?
Of course, my Instagram handle is thesparkplug.biz.
Okay. Any website or just on the IG?
Thesparkplug.biz.
.biz. Okay. We're going to work on that. So, all right. Well, thank you again, and
Thank you.
we look forward to having you back.
Yes, of course.
And I look forward to
anytime.
seeing you out
My
at special
pleasure.
events, and
Same.
it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcio.
All righty. All right, guys. Once again, we wrapping it up. Mauricio Mejia live inside of Studio B, and what an amazing interview today. God, can't wait to get out and
Spark it up.
Spark it up. Enjoy the cigar. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Mauricio Mejia live on YouTube.